Success is no accident. It's hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, and sacrifice. And most of all, love what you're doing.
Agent Power Huddle is a daily jumpstart, giving you all the tools you need to create an amazing real estate career. Led by top experts in the field, you'll learn how to sell more houses in less time while creating the life you want. Welcome to the Agent Power Huddle.
Well, here we are, Mindset Monday, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Are you all powered up and excited for your week? Hi, Theautis.
Yeah, absolutely. We're ready for you to get us going.
All right, cool. Well, I love Mondays and great to see you all. Hi, Nate. Good morning. Mike Brown, we got you with us. I love it. And, you know, Mondays, I love this topic Monday for Mindset Monday, because what better way to start your week out than just first getting right in the mindset to move forward with everything else in your life, right? So today's topic, you know, this I don't think can ever be over talked about, really. I really think that just constantly talking about success and what leads us there and what tips we can give and how to keep bringing us back to the foundation, the foundational tips and things that we need to always continuously remind ourselves and focus on to lead us to success. And so today is about success leaving clues. So the question is, what is success? What is it? You know, and it's interesting because there's really no real good answer exactly, because why is that? Success is different for everybody, right? It's measured in many, many different ways. It's not just financial. It's not just reaching, you know, one goal. It's measured by every one of us in some different way. However, is it the destination you're getting to, right? Is it the amount of money in your bank account? Is it a feeling of accomplishment of a goal? Or, right, Nate? Yeah. Or is success really the journey of self-discovery that leads you to a place of happiness and fulfillment in your life? I see heads shaking. Really, when you look for what really success is, it's going to be an individual thought process. Good morning, Connie. Good morning, Wesley. Nice to see all these people signing in. I love it. So when you want to look at the clues of success, you simply need to know first there's something you need to do. You need to actually look within yourself. Very first thing you do is you need to look within yourself. You need to really get to know yourself, right? First, because we don't want to try to emulate what everybody else is doing, because we think that's what success is. When we see what Nate is doing, what Mike is doing, what Connie is doing, what Theautis is doing, what Wesley is going to be different. We might try to mirror and do exactly what they're doing, and then we're not fulfilled. So look within yourself first, and then seek out great mentors that can help you get where you want to go. Let's go a little bit deeper with this. Hey, Theautis, you want to add a little something in there? I see you.
Oh, I'm just nodding my head because,
right,
I wanted to, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
When the topic just got all kind of things buzzing in my head because, I've had coaching, read a lot of self-help books, a lot of all that stuff, but I still have a tendency to turn what is success into rocket science. So it's just really good to slow down and say, okay, let me start making reference points to see how I got here so I don't have to reinvent the wheel every time I want to achieve something, Very good. Great point. And that especially in today's world, a lot of us on this call have been doing this for 20 plus years, and all the shiny objects and everything that are out there, we can often find ourselves going so many different directions, and then the overwhelm starts to get in and everything else. But either way, let's go deeper in this. After years of really masterminding with many, many successful agents and thought leaders across the country, I've had a pleasurable opportunity to really ask a lot of questions, and that's one of the things I love to do is really ask questions on this call. Of course, talking, but I love asking questions. And here are some of the things that the common tips and the things that I've heard over and over again, and quite frankly, I've experienced even in my own life, that really lead
to success? And the very first thing, and you probably could answer it for me, but I'm going to tell you anyway, the very first thing leading to success in anybody's life, regardless of what your fulfillment is passion, right? Passion is really the step one. It's the tip one. You've got to be driven. You've got to be driven by your passion. You must absolutely love what you do. Absolutely love it. I mean, I said this to my children for years. I'll say things like, if you do what you love, the money's going to follow. Simple as that. If you lead with doing something only for the money, it's going to show up and you're not going to get the results because it just doesn't work quite. Well, I guess you can force it to work that way, but I'm not sure it's going to sustain success and fulfillment and happiness in your life if you're really hating what you do, right? So first thing is passion. You've got to be driven by the passion. You must absolutely love what you do. I have fun with what I do. My clients even say, it's the biggest compliment when your client will say to you, oh my gosh, you really love what you do. I'm like, I do. Hopefully it shows, right? You've got to have that passion. The lesson here is to really know yourself. Like I said, know yourself. What juices you in the morning to get up and get moving and go to work or whatever work, move forward with your life. It's that passion that's going to start you out. And I want to pose this to you. If you're not really sure what your passion is, think about your dreams. Think about your dreams. What dreams do you actually have? For your life? We can't just be mulling through life every day and not having any dreams, right? Well, Ben Franklin said something, and I think this is very powerful. He said, most people give up on their dreams by the age of 25. Did you ever hear that? Most people, I listen to a bunch of different podcasts and stuff all the time. I don't even remember which one I got that one from, but most people give up on their dreams by the age of 25 because they go get a job because of the pressure of obligations, family pressure, peer pressure. Okay. And then they fall into this routine and this life of mediocrity because they really never followed their passion. They just went out and got a job and to complete and fulfill obligations. But then he said another quote, which I thought was very powerful. He said, most people die at the age of 25. You hear that? Most people die at the age of 25, but they aren't buried until they're 75. There's a wake-up call for you, right? Most people die at the age of 25, but they aren't buried until they're 75. How many people do you know that have been 20 plus years in a job that they really didn't like, but they're doing it for the little paycheck at the end of the week because they have to, not because they love what they're doing?
Yeah, and I'll piggyback on that, Susan. There's a quote by David Goggins. He says that most people live their whole lives without ever starting their journey. Right. And that really resonated with me, like, wow. Like, and
that starts with the self-discovery, doesn't it? It starts with wow. Really igniting that passion with you. What is it? What is it that you really love? And thank you, Theautis. I mean, it's so right. So, so passion is step one, is tip number one to what leads you to success and that fulfillment we're talking about in your life. Number two is work. Following your passions, just the beginning. Then you must work and work hard and sharpen your mindset, your skill set, follow a schedule and be accountable. Oh my gosh, now we got something going here, right? You're following your passion, you're going to work. No one ever said it would be easy. And that's just it. That's why the passion part is so important, because when you love what you're doing, if it gets hard, it's going to carry you through. You're going to be able to push through because you've got that vision, that dream, but you have to work hard at it. All right. Following passion, you've got to have that work ethic. Tip number three is really be great at what you do. Be great. To be successful, you've got to put your nose to the grindstone and get damn good at whatever you are doing. Bottom line, right? There's no being average in success. There just isn't. Work hard, read, learn, implement great habits. Those are the kind of things that are going to achieve those results and that fulfillment and success that we're seeking. We're all seeking. Practice. What you learn and always get better at it. just like an Olympic athlete trains, just like Theautis trains. I'd love to say I train like you, but Theautis, I love watching you. My gosh, you are so inspirational. Just like an Olympic athlete trains for their sport, it's the hours, folks, of practicing when no one is watching that will show up with gold medal results when your opportunity meets preparation. It's that practice. I had a talk with actually Wesley on my team. He's here today. We just this last week, we were talking about, hey, you don't just read something and put it away. You don't just go to a class and learn something for 2 hours and then shelve it. You learn it in the class, you learn from the instructor, from the coach, whoever you're treating, but then you've got to go home. And then it's on you on your own to practice, sharpen those skills that you learn to implement, right? So tip number 3 is really be great, not just good at what you do, great at what you do. Be the master of what you do. Tip number 4 is focusing, because we can have that passion. We're working hard. We're really, taking a lot of classes and studying and practicing. And then all of a sudden our focus is everywhere else. We've got so many different things going around that it's very hard to keep that laser focus into one thing, your big one thing. If you haven't read the book from Gary Keller, it's a great book, The One Thing. Take a look at it. There's many milestones, though, in that one thing to get you someplace, right? So I'm not saying, often people say, yeah, but if I focus just on that, I'm not going to get. Well, if you focus on your one thing and then you drill it down to all the steps that it needs to take to master that one thing, you've got milestones now, right? You've got milestones, and you can practice what Tony Robbins teaches, which is chunking. How do you move a mountain? One scoop at a time. So that first scoop, there's your focus. You get there. Okay, now it's time for the second scoop. Bam, move it. There you go. You see how the needle continues to move in that focusing on the milestone to your one thing. Tip number 4, focus.
Yeah, and focus for me took practice, because I'm easily distracted. If you want to say I have ADD, sure, I'll wear that. For me to sit right here and just be still, that did not happen overnight. I'm just being totally honest with you. So do your best not to get intimidated by the word focus. It doesn't mean like 24/7, like 7 days a week, you're focusing on the one thing, but we have to build up to longer durations of focus in order to build that momentum and get better at focusing. But I have to say, I absolutely sucked at focus when I first tried. So there's my disclaimer, just to loosen it up a little bit.
Another great book, which is, this is one of the first books years ago I started reading in my career, was called The Power of Focus. Great book. I refer back to it a lot. If you haven't read it, great book. Power of Focus. Oh, here it is. The Power of Focus.
Power of Focus.
Man. One of the first books I read in my career, and I still have it right behind me, because it's just, again, it's got so many great nuggets in it. But so focusing is really important. And, again, with all the different things we've got going on, it is hard to get off track. It is hard to stay focused sometimes. So you want to remember to make sure that you get real clarity there, and you'll start feeling that fulfillment we talk about. And the achievement is when you're focusing and then you reach those milestones, it gives you much more confidence, right? You're building the confidence within you, which of course will ignite more passion as you start getting more results. Number 5, push yourself. You've got to push yourself. So with all these things we talked about, you still have to push yourself. Even when you have passion for something, times get hard, right? Again, we said nothing, it wasn't always going to be easy. You got to push yourself. No one can want more for you than you want for yourself. I'm going to say that again. No one can ever want more for you than you want for yourself. Bottom line, I've really consulted many agents over the years, and I feel like I want more for them than they want for themselves, and that's difficult because it goes back to the passion, right? I've got to say, okay, well, is this really your passion? Because when it is, you're not having to do that. Push yourself physically, mentally, emotionally. Trust in yourself. When you say push yourself, trust yourself. You got to have some trust there, right? And I think that's some of the reason people don't push themselves is maybe they have some self-doubt that they're not going to be able to make it. So they're afraid they're going to fail or something like that. Again, it's okay to fail. Believe me that in fact, in order to be successful in any way, whatever your definition of success is, you're going to need to fail and fail a lot, right? A lot. So trust in yourself and take more risks. Take more risks. We had one topic just on that, I think, one week. Didn't we? It was just risk taking. Risk taking is going to push you into a whole other dimension and level. And as you take risks, what's happening again? You do something that maybe you feel a little uncomfortable with, and you start going, oh my gosh, I actually did that. And confidence again will start to rise, and passion will start to ignite as you continue to push yourself. You must be comfortable getting uncomfortable. That's an interesting topic, huh? Mike Brown, you're shaking your head. It's so true. You've got to be comfortable getting uncomfortable. Why? Why, Mike? You want to unmute yourself and tell us why you think you need to be uncomfortable getting uncomfortable?
There's just a lot of things that, there's a lot of things you don't want to do. Like for me, I've been doing this for 20 years, but I don't like making physical calls or expired calls, those kind of things. At certain times, I got to follow up or do things. I'm uncomfortable doing it, but I just focus on it and I implement it and I just get it done. But doesn't mean I'm always comfortable doing it. So exactly. It's all mindset.
It's all mindset. And once and Mike, if you notice, once you start making it, the first call is the hardest. Wesley and Candace, they're on the call today. You guys can unmute yourself too. That picking up the phone and that first one, but once you start doing it, and you start getting in focus, you start getting in that momentum we talked about, right? All right, yeah, you got to be comfortable getting uncomfortable because that's how we grow, guys. That's how we grow. It just is. Push yourself through self-doubt. That's going to do it. It's going to push yourself through self-doubt. It's not always easy. Get a coach or a mentor. And guess what? Read more books. Read more books. You don't like reading, podcasts are good, but I highly suggest you read because, again, when I have little books like these that I've gone through a million times, you'll start highlighting and earmarking certain pages that just really speak to you. They're like, oh my gosh, I need to get back to that. And it really will continue that growth process for you. So get your mentor, get a coach. I heard this on one of the podcasts that I was listening to, and so I kind of wrote down some notes today because I just loved it. I want you to take a moment right now, because we just talked about pushing ourselves, getting a coach, getting a mentor. Imagine what your life would look like if you had Bill Gates, co-founder, developer of Microsoft, to be a mentor to you, to help you create your vision or the best idea that was going to grow your company and organization. Imagine if Bill Gates was your personal coach in that area, your mentor. Or what if Robert Kiyosaki was going to be was your mentor for investments in financial security? What if Mother Teresa was partnering with you? She was your partner in creating your next charity event. Connie, I see a big smile. I love it. She was your partner in your next big charity event. Imagine that. What if you're going to the gym, Theautis, and you got your trainer waiting for you? By the way, your trainer's name is Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's at the gym and he's waiting for you. Yeah, right?
Right.
Imagine what your life would look like if the Dalai Lama was your mentor for spirituality, peace, and tranquility. Okay, so I just said some pretty big names and pretty big, influencers over decades, years. You may not actually have these people live and in person, right? But you do, however, have them. We have them at our fingertips. We've got them in books, in podcasts, in videos. And, we do have resources that they're right there for us if we just step forward and step in and tap into them.
And I just wanted to say my CrossFit coach, I'm so proud of him. He just placed number 4 in the world for ages 45 to 49.
What a phenomenal mentor for you.
What's amazing about that is he's a fireman, he's a husband, he's a father, he's a grandpa, He runs a gym. He's the most amazing human being. And I've been going to his gym now for about 4.5 years. And he helped me change my narrative from I'm getting older to I'm getting better.
I love it.
I'm 47 now, and I remember I'm getting old, like, Then I see this guy, like, he's in his 40s and he's doing all this amazing things. And I'm just like, he took it out of my mouth. Like, I didn't feel comfortable saying I'm getting old anymore. So a lot of times these heroes are right in our communities. They're right in front of us, and as well as the ones you mentioned, Susan. So they're not hard to find, I guess is what I'm trying to say. They're
not. And so that's exactly where I was going. And to be honest, this is why I so love being on calls with you, because we always seem to get our minds going and all of a sudden we're like linked in thought. So actually, like I just said, you can push yourself to read these books and get yourself even an hour a day, 30 minutes a day, whatever, 10 minutes a day, just start. And that's where we get into the, in the mornings, your morning schedule. That's a whole other topic on itself, but you implement some of this into your morning schedule. But now think about the people around you. All right. The people you could surround yourself with who will choose to mentor you. Who are those people? Who are people that will choose to mentor you? And I'm not going to stop there. Who will you choose to start mentoring and giving back to? We learn more when we teach. Did you know that? I'm sure. I know a lot of you actually teach it, right, that are on this call today. We actually, the person who's teaching learns the most, I think, really, so if you want to be able to be mentored by others, but you actually want to turn around and mentor others, give back. All right. And it also that's also a step in the fulfillment and the success. There's no doubt about it. This leads right into step number 6. Tip number 6, you need to have a servant's heart. Have you ever heard of having a servant's heart? Have a servant's heart. What does that mean? It's really a privilege to serve others. It's not something that you're forced to do. We do it because we have passion for whatever we're mentoring people on. We're passionate about it. We're a giver, and when you have that servant's heart, you're serving other people, giving them something of value, right? You find out what's unique within yourself and how do you serve others in their best interest. When somebody leaves you and they've learned something or you've helped them, you're going to feel good about yourself and they're going to feel great about being with you. And isn't that what we really want? Do you think that's a great tip in starting to feel that success and that fulfillment and happiness in our life that we want? Tip number 7 is ideas and creativity. Ideas and creativity. When you follow your passion, when you love what you do, what automatically will happen is the creative juices start to flow. Right? Creative juices start flowing on, what else can be done? What new risks can you take? What new ideas can we formulate to continue this massive growth that we're having so much fun in the process doing? You're going to open yourself up to new ideas that are going to enhance your performance, your business, and your life. So allow yourself to explore these opportunities without losing focus. You're exploring new opportunities because new ideas keep the spice in it. New ideas, will continue that amazing growth. And sometimes too, by the way, I think I've talked about this on another call. I was in a mastermind group. It was a leadership, and we all stood around this table and we started looking at, there was like this, they had these pictures on the table, and it was this puzzle we had to figure out as a group, as a whole, as a group. And we were all standing on one side of the table and we were looking at it, and coming up with how we thought the result and the solution would be to whatever the problem was sitting on the table. It was a problem and a problem we had to solve. And it also had like a puzzle too. It was really cool. So anyway, we came up with our ideas, right? But then somebody said, you know what, everybody take one step around the table and look at it in a different way. And that was a real, it was an interesting leadership moment there, because when we looked at it around another way, we're like, oh my gosh, when you look at a problem in only one way, you don't always see the solution. But when you start to look at it in different angles, suddenly these solutions and the ideas and creativity starts to unfold. Did I explain that pretty good? If not, just kind of think about, if you're having trouble with something, you're having maybe a creative block, and how can I get my team to the next level? Or how can I get my own business to the next level? Start getting a little creative. Seek out your mentors for new ideas, and then implement. Number 8, the last tip here is persist. It's not as if all this here, then you have to persist, because what's going to happen? Of course, you're going to have tough times. Of course, you're going to have failures. Of course, you're going to have disappointments. Things happen along the way. You've got to persist through the crap. You heard that before? I don't know. You guys looking at persist through the crap.
Never heard it. I like it though.
You know what the crap is? Criticism.
Oh yeah.
Rejection. Assholes. And pressure.
Yeah.
Is that some reality for you? Persist. I mean, it's so true. I mean, it's very disheartening sometimes. You could be on this roll, and now you've got a really crappy person for whatever reason you're dealing with that can, and we've had them. Everybody's had them. We've got some amazing people too, but occasionally you get that person, and then, oh my gosh, can they just suck the wind out of you? And there comes up, I don't care how many years in the business, the self-doubt, the negative talk, because all of a sudden you've been sucked into this crappy situation. You've got to persist. And when you have passion and love what you do, that's going to drive you through those moments, right? And you start focusing on the people that you've helped and all the positive testimonies of the people that are thrilled with you. So ultimately, remember, this success is going to measure different for everybody. But I'm confident to say that these 8 tips, I really, really believe in self-discovery and will lead to success. And they're actually the keys that will unlock your greatest potential. I'm going to end. We're ending up right now with a quote. And then, Theautis, if you have any last words, or Mike or anybody on the call, here's a quote. Success is no accident. It's hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, and sacrifice. And most of all, love what you're doing. Love what you're doing. You guys want to add any ending thoughts? Theautis, Mike, Nate, Connie, Wes, Candace. I see lots of other people on the calls. Feel free to jump in and add an ending thought if you'd like to.
Well, I was going to say, I know we hear all the time, the importance of journaling. It doesn't have to be a day-by-day recap. It could be as simple as journaling, writing down your problem, but also writing down your process to implement the solution. That way, when you go back, you can go back and look through your journal, and you've already figured out everything that you're going to need to figure out moving on. But sometimes we forget that because we don't write it down. So I would say journal at least the problem, and what did you do to get to the solution? That way you can see what you've already done before, and you're not, once again, trying to do rocket science with something you've already figured out in the past.
To be honest, what a great tip. And it brought me back to, I was running Kate Keller Williams' office. If an agent or somebody called to meet with me and because they had a problem, right? They had a problem. They're calling me like, I need to come meet with you. I've got this huge problem. I said, great. We set up the time to meet. But I said, before you come, I want you to bring me your problem, but I also want you to bring me 3 ideas that you think are great solutions to the problem. I will absolutely give you what my recommendations and suggestions. I do want you to bring me at least 3 solutions that you think may solve the problem. And then we'll talk, come into my office, and then let's get together with this and let's see how we can solve this problem. But you see how I did? I made them first self-discover a little bit, because too many people can fall into, they just want everybody to solve their problems for them because that's the easy way. We all do. I'm not different than anybody else. And that's kind of human nature, right? I mean, to be honest, I always laugh because you and Jesse, there was one day, I don't know what it was, or one weekend, I sent you guys a message and I was just, I don't know, I had so much going on. I was asking you guys to solve my problem for me. And for whatever reason, you guys must have been busy or whatever, but didn't get back to me. And it forced me, I'm like, darn these guys. It forced me to start doing the results.
You figured it out. You had it.
And by Monday morning, of course, I had it figured out, and we joked about it. I don't know if you were on that call, but it was really funny. But is that not the truth? Because it's so, again, human nature is so easy to say, hey, I've got Theautis and Jesse by my side, guys. Hey guys, and I'll reach out just to see if I can get a little. And then sometimes you guys have been great at really sending me some great tips back too. Though, so use all this, and hopefully, I brought some nice value to you today on this Mindset Monday. And you can start your week, with, again, following your passion. Thanks, guys. Following your dreams. We're past 25. I am anyway. Some of you aren't. And you know what, Theautis, 47 ain't old. And when you get to 57, you're starting to go, wait a minute, 47 look pretty good. So there's always another level, you guys. And I just Mindset Mondays. Thank you for coming and joining us today.
All right, you guys have a good day.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our EXP organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about EXP or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.